Today was crap. Today was the hardest day I've had to do so far yet. I took all my shots, went to sleep. I woke up sick. I woke up, well, okay, I wasn't actually puking, but I did wake up really sick. I was nauseous. I had a headache. And you might think that that's a bad thing, but actually, it's kind of good. You see, some of you have said, and perfectly legitimate to wonder this, by the way, you say, well, when I get drunk, I go to sleep, I wake up, I have a hangover. I don't want to do that again for a while. I don't want to do that every day. How is it that alcoholics can just get away with feeling like that all the time and it doesn't bother them? And the answer is because alcoholics don't feel that anymore. It's like if you go into a room that has a really strong smell, like maybe bleach or pet smell, and if you sit there in that room for 20 or 30 minutes, you won't smell it anymore. You don't notice that smell. Somebody else will walk in and go, whoa, but you're in there and you're like, oh, right there, because you've gotten used to it. Your brain has tuned it out. Well, that's the same thing that happens to alcoholics with hangovers and sickness. They don't really detect it anymore because it just becomes the normal state of being for them. When you're an alcoholic and you're sick all the time, there's nothing to compare it to. There's no feeling better to compare it to. So it just becomes the average normal state that you're in, and you don't detect a lot of the sickness that you have. So the fact that I took my shots and I woke up and I felt sick is kind of good, because it means that I was feeling much better earlier, and now I have a comparison, and I also have a new motivation to keep going. Today is frustrating. It's just simply frustrating. This is the hardest day I've had to do so far, and it's absolutely, it's frustrating the hell out of me. And it's not mostly because of the alcohol at this point, even though I did do the same thing that I did a couple of days ago. Last night, I was about 3 or so in the morning, I started drinking, and I was going to do 5 shots. I had 10 shots today. I was going to drink my 5 shots for the night, wait for next day, but I didn't. I just went ahead and went, fuck it, and drank all 10 shots that morning. And so by the time, it was like 7 or 8 in the morning, I was done drinking for the whole day, for the rest of the day. And the problem with that is that now, I figured, well, if I start needing alcohol later, I'll just go to work. I'll do work. I'll make some videos. I'll do something and keep myself occupied. But because my throat is, for some mysterious fucking unknown reason, my voice is just trashed because, what, did I sleep on it wrong? What happened? I don't know. It just went away. I can't make videos today. So not only do I have to wait a really long time before I have to drink again, but I don't have the main thing that I usually have to distract me or occupy me while I don't drink. So this is a long, long day. This is a very long day for me. That, and I'm pissed off at my hip. That's number 2. My hip is the second reason that I'm frustrated right now, because I still can't, it hurts to walk on it. And at this point, I think I've decided that I'm going to determine, that I've got some gout in my hip, because it's lasted so long at this point. That's really the only thing. If I'd slipped on it wrong, it'd hurt for a day or 2 and then be over with. But nope, this is still hurting. And so I'm going to say it's gout. So chalk that up to alcohol as well. That's causing me problems. So it's going to feel really good to get rid of all these damn problems. And hopefully I won't have to deal with this again very soon. But for now, God damn it, I wish my voice worked better. It's just, I know you can hear it. It's completely kerfucked. I'm squeaking everywhere, and I don't know why. I hope the voice problems, I hope the alcohol is causing that too, because then once I quit alcohol, this won't happen anymore. And I swear to God, I really, really didn't do anything. I just woke up and it was like this. And this is the second day it's been like this. Oh, shit. Things will get better. They will get better. I know they will. I have an admission. I do have an admission. I did screw up. Well, I don't know if it's a screw up or not. You guys can decide that. But in the interest of full disclosure, I got to tell you guys, I technically screwed up. Technically. After the day was coming to an end, I was doing some work on a project, and I thought, okay, great. It'll be midnight after I'm through, and then I can take a shot. And I was planning on just taking one or two. So I finished my work, and I poured my shot, and I took it, and I looked at the clock, and it was like 11:38. It wasn't quite midnight yet. So technically, I took 11 shots instead of 10, but I marked it for the next day. I marked it for the 9-shot day, which is coming up tomorrow. So it's not going to be an extra shot that I had, because I'm still going to have to take, I'm going to count it in with the 9 that is coming up tomorrow. I have noticed some benefits to cutting down first and then quitting. And what of course, one is not winding up in the hospital and or dead. But another one is that it also gives you the opportunity to feel better and then celebrate with alcohol, because you can, the next day, you can say, hey, I feel great. I'm going to celebrate. But it also gives you a comparison, because then after you celebrate, you feel like crap again. And it starts to put that sense of difference back in your life. When you're constantly sick, you don't really notice it. But when you're sick and then you feel better, you really notice it. So that's something that actually I didn't expect to be a benefit of cutting down the shrinking it down method, but it's really working, and I think that's a big benefit to it. Some differences that I noticed today, and I don't know where this came from, I really don't, but it was weird. I got sleepy just out of nowhere toward the end of the night, and so I just leaned back in my chair and kind of just was going to snooze. But as I closed my eyes and I laid back there and just kind of rested, I noticed that everything felt really still. And I know that sounds weird, but when you're drunk all the time, your skin, your body, there's this constant vibrating, kind of tingly feeling that's all over. And I noticed that wasn't there so much. Everything felt really, really tranquil and still, which was a weird, weird feeling. And as I kind of slipped further into just napping and snoozing, I noticed some really just weird, out of my head dream type visions that were really strange. They were very vivid. And I'm sure that that's because of the lack of alcohol in my system too. I think that's going to be an interesting aspect here coming up here in the future pretty quick. So we're going to see what happens with that. I also noticed that for some reason, I don't know why I hadn't been noticing this earlier, my mouth tastes terrible. It tastes horrible. I don't know why. It tastes like I've been sucking something from the wrong side of the tracks. It really, more and more I'm sitting there going, why is my tongue tastes horrible? So I don't know. I'm probably going to brush my teeth extra or something, because, I got to get rid of that. So anyway, sorry about my voice once again, but moving forward, moving onward, everything's going well. It's really hard, but it's going well. And as of tomorrow, we move into the single digits. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I'm feeling good about this. Tomorrow's another day, guys. I'll see you then.